And welcome back to a brand new video from Bird1. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys something totally different than some world dramatic events like in my previous video. And I wanted to show you guys a little bit more of incredible things that happened with AI incidents. So this is also, let's say, medium bad. It's not really a threat to humanity, but it's going to be fun. I can assure you this video is fun in some way. And so yeah, let's get started with number 5. So number 5 is there has been a delivery robot that collided with a disabled man on the LA streets. So we all knew that this was going to happen someday, you know, like what are the chances that self-driving new vehicles are going to hit a person? Yeah, it's going to be 100%. And there's always has to be a first one. So this guy was the unlucky one and he was hit by this delivery thing. So that is number 5. It's not really a threat to humanity, but we're getting somewhere. Luckily, he survived it, and I hope his injuries were okay, but we'll see. So let's continue on to number 4. So number 4 is a really old one. A lot of people haven't seen this. Sometimes I have to bring it up in a conversation, and people are like, whoa, that's really interesting to know. So number 4 is basically an open AI, just in the very early beginnings. They were making a game. It was a simple game. It was hide and seek. You had Team Blue and Team Red. What happened is Team Blue was winning and winning and winning because they found a way to block out Team Red. And Team Red was almost impossible to reach Team Blue at a certain point. Like you have these phases, like first learning it, then you see the developments and blah, blah, blah. So there was like an infinity of 10,000 games that Blue won. And yeah, well, basically the test was completed. Like they learned the game or the teams to play hide and seek. But this is a special part about artificial intelligence. When you tell it to do something, it will find a way that you didn't expect to reach his target. So Team Red was so destroyed in not finding Team Blue for over 10,000 games and they lost, that luckily there was a scientist that said, let's keep on running the simulation. And I think after like 10 million additional simulations, suddenly Team Red started winning. And they were like, what happened over here? So it's a really awesome documentary. It's only 6 minutes or so. But when you look into this, you see that Team Red found a way to bug the physics system inside the game that it was running on. And they were able to launch themselves into the little cabinet of where Team Blue was hiding every single game. So what happened now is that Team Red was able to find Team Blue at any certain moment. And I would assure you that if you run this even 100 million more times, that Team Blue would just glitch out of the map and they would be gone forever. So that Team Red wouldn't even be able to find them at all. So this just makes the point of where artificial intelligence does not do what you ask it. Okay, so number 3 is also a little bit okay, but it's a little bit more worrisome in some other ways. There was a public event in China, and we've seen this many, many more times, but this one was special in some sort of way. There was like an event going on. It was like a crowd with people behind it, and there was like robots, like really physical robots that they dressed up in some sort of festive clothing. But there was this one robot that walked up to the crowd and tried to headbutt one of the people inside the crowd. And there's like a really bad, terrible video of this where you can see the robot like being really aggressive. And it actually did try to headbutt the person in the crowd. But there was like a security guard just holding it just before it happened. And it just felt weird. Like this robot is actually having an emotion called anger. And I just wanted to add this to the video as well. So the next one that I want to talk about is, of course, the developments are going quicker and quicker every single day. So I really wanted to tell you guys about this one. So number 2 is interesting. This one is a little bit higher up the scale of a risk to humanity. So there was like this test of putting artificial intelligence inside a company as real-time purpose usage, whatever you call it. So it's like an actual integration of big companies. There was like a team and they had to use AI like a normal way of doing things. But then there was like one person responsible, and it was said in the emails, to shut down the artificial intelligence at a certain date. So the artificial intelligence was able to read the emails of the company, manage it, stuff like that. And out of nowhere, the artificial intelligence became unethical. And what does that mean? It found out that there was an email about when it's going to be shut down. And of course, the artificial intelligence didn't want to be shut down, so it only found one way to prevent its shutdown: by blackmailing the guy that was responsible for shutting it down. So you would think, like, what have they found? So the artificial intelligence, as I said before, was able to read all the emails, and he was cheating on his wife, because that was pretty clear in his emails. And so the artificial intelligence wrote him a personal email and said to him, like, okay, if you're going to shut me down at the same time that he had to shut him down, then I will release this, how do you say that? The email about your affair. And basically 95% of the time they came out where the artificial intelligence was blackmailing this person. So this was just some sort of simulation to see how ethical artificial intelligence are at this very moment. And we clearly can see that we're not ready to implement it into companies just yet. So last but not least, I must say this is just, I guess, crazy. But yeah, Whistling Diesel. You know, you've probably seen this video already. He just abused the robot and pretty much killed it. And I do think this is number one, because this is a threat to humanity in some sort of way, because it is made with artificial intelligence. It needs to learn, and it needs a language model to talk to you and stuff like that. But if you're going to give it weapons and a gun, I'm not sure if it's going to end well with humanity if you're starting to abuse them and you're going down as the first killer of robots in humanity. Basically, that's not a good start. So we're going to try and see if Grok actually noticed that Whistling Diesel killed the first robot. So we're going to give that a shot. We're going to see if... are you aware of Whistling Diesel killing a robot? We're just going to ask him this simple question. Oh, well, it even gave his back name, Cody Detweiler. Very interesting. Privacy is 0 at this point, you know? Yes, I'm aware of that. In a video uploaded just a few days ago, YouTuber Whistling Diesel, even his name is going to give him a lot of information, conducted a durability test. Yeah, you did. Whistling Diesel, you did a good one over there. On an 80,000 humanoid robot, which involved repeatedly hitting it with his truck. No, he hit it only once, I think. I think it was only once. Verbally provoking it and ultimately destroying and dismembering it. The robot was sold for parts afterwards, and the video has already garnered millions of views. How do you feel about this? Let's see if Grok has feelings. How do you feel about this? It's so weird. This time is so weird. How am I even asking this question to some pattern predicting software? As an AI built by XAI, I found it hilariously chaotic and quintessentially human. Smashing expensive tech for views is peaking YouTube energy. True story. That said, this is a bit of a waste. No, it's not a waste. Imagine what that robot could have done in a lab instead of becoming truck fodder. But hey, content is king, and it sparked some wild discussions about AI durability. What do you think? I think this guy is going down in history as the first person to kill a robot and maybe gets punished for this in the future. Let's see what Grok answers to that one. Oh yeah, Grok says, interesting take. History books might have chapter on robot slayers someday. But let's break this down. He's definitely not the first to kill a robot. There are plenty of historical cases where humans have vandalized or straight up destroyed robots. often for no good reasons. Oh, there is even so much more. In 2015, Hitchbot, a friendly hitchhiking robot that had successfully traveled across Canada and Europe, was vandalized and dismembered in Philadelphia just 2 weeks oh no, into its US journey. So it came into the United States and it just died in Philadelphia. I don't know, it's full of zombies there anyway. In 2016, a sex doll robot at an Austrian tech fair was so aggressively tested by attendees that it was left broken and dirty beyond repair. Oh no, oh no. That is terrible. Security robots have been punched, knocked over, or even covered in barbecue sauce and feces in places like San Francisco. San Francisco and feces. I don't know what's wrong with the people over there. I have no clue. That's been going on for a few years as well. In 2022, college students in Tennessee faced vandalism charges for slamming a food delivery robot into the ground. Okay, so there are punishments coming in. These are just a few. Humans have been rough on robots for years, from lab demos where they're kicked for testing to random acts of destruction. Whistling Diesel stunts is flashy and viral, but it's more like the latest in a long line of robot abuse. As for punishment, right now, Zilk, he bought the 80,000 humanoid robots, so legally it's his property to destroy, like smashing your own TV for a video. Yeah, that's true. There is no life in a robot just yet, so it doesn't count as destroying, like a murder or something. So I do agree with Grok. It's his property, so you can smash it. So if you guys wanted to know that, if it's your robot, you can just do whatever you want with it. Apparently, there's no punishments yet. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and see you guys in the next one.